everyone. Here's something fun for everyone expanding into their psychic, intuitive, energetic sensitivity, multidimensionality, the aspects of themselves of which we all have, expanding into their psionics and multidimensional energetic awareness and sight and feeling and resonance and frequency, attuning and picking up. Excuse me. Aspects of self. So in our genetics, in our individual human genetics as to our family line's genetics, and to our humanness overall, we have such a plethora of different DNA that connects to many different beings around this planet, many different forms of life that are expressed in their specific levels of consciousness and forms of bodies that are able to anchor in souls at a specific level for a particular experience, as well as to many other places around the universe, many other galaxies, star systems, planets, as well as dimensions, and yet vibrational resonance levels, densities of soul connecting embodied conscious awareness. So what I mean to say is we have a lot within us, of which actually within our parallel lives, not past lives, not future lives, it's all happening all at once in the totality, in clear, open, expanded quantum nature of reality, yet everything can be seen and connected into, and in any way or shape or form of which you are currently seeing or feeling or experiencing things as authentically, anything and everything is possible. So whatever confines or constructs or shapes you may put yourself in beliefs or understandings for a while, is so, just as much as. So the simple thing with that, completely random but entirely on point, is to completely open yourself and dissolve away anything and everything you think you know, any programs, any constructs, thought forms, and be absolutely infinitely expandedly open beyond all universal to multiversal existence and beingness, because through that, and opening to God and opening to Source and the original frequencies unto the highest, to God and Source and your highest self, to your oversoul, to connecting with your body and your genetics and your DNA, and your soul and your lineage in so many lives, to connecting with the original templates, original organic templates of creation that allow you to see in a much more expanded, whole, multidimensional, very complex, detailed, yet also simple way through all of that as well, which is found through all the complexities, yet how it all comes together in all the details, and yet all the bigger scope, big picture, unified aspects of life and creation. So that's beautiful. It feels like that's what I'm more meant to talk about here, but we'll see what more comes through right now. While I pause and breathe a moment, allow those frequencies to really come through and embody and shine into this space of the video. Thank you. It's been a thing to share that lately in communication, simply for awareness of, for various many levels and for others. So this connects directly into our individual self-mastery, the great work of the mastery of self and the remembrance of us as God, as Source, as the universe, of the Great Mother, the Great Father, the Great Spirit, as the child of all that, and yet as that at the same time unified in a whole together oneness. Becoming aware of our energy bodies, as with every layer level of our physical bodies, and working with that in totality of healthful vitality, in our light bodies and our fullness into the highest dimensional capacity, unto all dimensions, leading down into this 3D crystallized physical realm of which all that connects in and begins to reclaim, remember, reconnect, recohere, and connect all of those layers and levels of our being and all of our soul to incarnate and embody in these human lifetimes, in this great work that we're all doing, which is the main work, along with our divine service and ever-present beingness and giving along the journey of truly being who we really are. So as we thank you. So as we expand psionically and consciously, multidimensionally, psychically, we can begin to connect into our own DNA, genetics, energy body, light body, and physical body, which brings the greater awareness of easily being able to connect in with a unified oneness with other beings, other people, other animals and plants, seeing their multidimensionality, their energy bodies, their light bodies, and the blueprint creational codes within the DNA and genetics within the people as presents itself and comes up and comes forward through communication within connection spaces and moments of really open and dedicated, like, okay, I'm showing up and I want to connect with you and trade energies, trade teachings, trade understandings, trade experiences, and exchange here, as is the true, some of the truest aspects of currency. Energetic trading, sharing, teaching and shifting, helping each other to evolve and shift and become our greater, highest potential, expanding into the infinite many facets and capacities of all life and all creation throughout the multiverse and omnidimensional creation. We'll begin to be able to see and experience those with our opening many eyes, many third eyes, not just the one. We have many in our multidimensionality in our many places of our bodies as our energy centers open and as our awareness expands and opens in a 360-degree multidimensional expanded view in open heart, true, and open body, true, like feeling connection slowed down to crystallize the feelings and the frequencies and the energies. We begin to see and experience others through their expressions in the moment of what comes up, what energies and things are being shared through some of the connections within their own genetics and DNA. So, sometimes we'll see different soul lives, different parallel lives of which their souls are connected to, that connect in and ground in through their bodies and through the genetics that are mirrored of those soul experiences, and or simply connected into almost like the collective conscious of those different beings and life forms just through the having the genetics within your own body and within your light body and within your energy body, not just the physical. Like there are also light code specific frequencies that act as basically like higher dimensional, less physical aspects of genetics and DNA within the multidimensional layers and aspects of us non-physically that connect in as a great coherent connection and flowing of our body within our awareness and within our diligent healing journey, mastery and choosing and shifting journey of being who we truly are, and connect into our physical, into our conscious mental cognitive awareness, as was the heart and body awareness that can be brought up and accessed, the information, the energies, the teachings, the feelings at any moment through the journey of the dedicated healing and expanding and opening and reconnecting of all self and mastery and its absolute full unconditional self, love, and others of all life, because nothing is separate, nothing is ever separate. Everything is just has its own individuation of expression, of source, soul, individuated God's universal source expression. So unconditional love for others is unconditional love for yourself, as it is for yourself as to others. And opening in that, we connect. And you're able to access that information multidimensionally and begin to see within the energy fields and energy bodies as we attune into those dimensional aspects of selves, into our chi, life force, spirit, chi, living energies, as with their physical, seeing it within others as they come up to express like aspects of themselves in other lives, like I said. So like if somebody's a reptilian, or if somebody's a feline type being, or a bird type being, or a plant type being, that's more of like a humanoid ascended or evolved version of those. And if not, even if it's just like more of the simple nature physical spirit aspect of like a plant or an animal too, I mean the same, you can connect in and kind of see that come up in their conscious awareness and kind of shift and fade within their energetic bodies, and also like literally tuning in deeply to their physical bodies to see what expressions of themselves, or rather like which particular aspects of their genetics and soul lineage are most present in expression in their everyday lives, or that's coming up in the exact moment to share and to bring through specific teachings and information and trading in the connection. You can kind of watch like what they most embody often, and yet also within a certain expanse of momentary time their physical features actually shift and change, and with their energetic bodies, that is in the higher dimensions, the energies are moved much faster, and obviously the crystallized 3D physical things are slower and take more time to fully embody, to actually land in the reality and crystallize into form in the external as the internal. So like I watch and see people kind of shift and change over a period of time, their energies based on what they're embodying and bringing in. And on another layer level, this can just simply connects into emotions and energies of which you are choosing to be and embody, which absolutely shifts your physical form and a state of healthful vitality as well. The coherency of nutritional and energetic and hormonal and chemical exchange in the body, which will shift its form to look and be different so that like day by day or week by week, and through these cosmic energetic solar to earth shifting waves of energy that are flowing through right now, I mean for a long time now, but like just increasing in magnitude and acceleration. You'll notice how people's physical bodies begin to change, where it's like they're literally a different person or in a different body. As you ascend, as you embody more of your soul and who you truly are, and your infinite, expanded, all different form, capacity, and energy expressions, connecting into a crystallized unification that flowers open as an infinite, multidimensional, like mandala, like within you, and whatever's coming up for the expression, you'll see their physical change to that helps them to greater. I'm focusing on like what is bringing in the highest potential embodiment, leadership of self, and of us as individuals to lead our dreams, to lead our highest expressions, and from soul, from source, and who we really are into this world. So what we're really here to do in our purpose and missions is where I'm focusing. But also like if you're also in a very much lower vibrational, emotional, thought wave and frequency, your physical body will obviously show that as well with sickness or disease, or which will only show you what needs healed and what needs loved and what needs more unified, and actually fortify you in greater levels if you're willing to really feel into those, love those places in yourself, and begin to make great leaps of shift in yourself, mentally, emotionally, energetically, actionably, physically, in every way, that'll greater bring you wisdoms and teachings to fortify you in your human journey and your missions and your purpose, and energetically in all layers and levels, multidimensionally, as a being and as a soul, but as a human being in your infinite capacity that we have as these 3D crystallized physical form humans, able to house all dimensions, all energies, in an expanding mastery capacity and magnitude that can bring these physicals to raise in frequency such as to be in higher, like, dimensional or density, density, I guess you could say, for this focus. So like the actual physical and energetic vibrational density shared between all cells of your body and atoms in your body to the electrons actually raises in frequency, so which then enables you to more embody and regularly house higher dimensional conscious aspects of yourself. Thank you. So, it is a true blessing and true opportunity and an honor to watch in the living present moment, when you really slow down and become attuned in the now with others in connection, to watch also the physical and energetic shifts that take place via all the different lives and forms of us and ancestry kind of energies that come in, and things that shift your physical and energetic in the moment, and you can hear it and feel it through the words they speak and the sound vibrations. As you dedicate the tune in to others, to yourself, and expand in your mastery psionically, psychically, energetically, physically, and every layer and level in a full coherency, vitality, flow of your living light and living whole beingness. Okay, let's see. Take a moment here. Anything else come through? Here's a good one, though, that I've been noticing the last few days. Oh my God, like seeing the absolute divine beauty of all of this physical world, all this world of creation, like, oh my God. And something I hadn't fully realized before, in looking at all the plants around you, feeling, connecting, and receiving all the elements around you, specifically seeing their physical forms and feeling them as literal, like, multidimensional mandala type expressions in the physical as with their energetics. So basically it's like higher dimensional, like astral realms of all these different geometries and energies and colors and things that we see. They're able to shift and flow and form with our consciousness as God, source, embodied creators. Looking at all the different plants and their forms, you can just right there instantaneously connect in with the multidimensionality of energies in all life, seeing them, how they crystallize and form these different specific perfect ratios, measurements, geometries, energies. in just their forms, in the physicals, as well as like all animals, all insects, and the elements themselves. Like, oh my God, it's such a dear blessing to be here, to witness that and see how this world is. It's a very slowed down, truly like crystallized, concretized, solidified form, yet still infinitely moldable. This reality is. It's just slower. Yet with the greater conscious connective awareness and focus, things are able to shift much quicker when you bring greater magnitude and focus of energies of living conscious energy into anything. Things will shift more as you feel that and embody that first internally, and then focus it externally. You'll see how things begin to shift in your life so much, and how like the physical world, and how much like literally how much plants and animals, the elements, clouds in the sky, water, the weather, how things shift so quickly through the seasons in its own perfect, graceful, organic flow. Even through all the blockages and hardships of which us humans and other beings put on the world and mess with the weather and all that, it's still, Mother Nature still like pushes through and makes a way, and kind of like we'll take that and shift it and transmute it and flow around it anyway, and make do and make things better eventually, even through all those hardships for her, as with ourselves and our own bodies. And yet flow around and continue the balanced coherency, the balance of life in each form to work together. And yet, of course, there are places around in nature, in all different pockets in every area, that need clearing up energies and healing as well, like us and our own bodies, the extended collective Earth, Mother Earth, nature bodies in different aspects, parts, and sectors, as with our collective humanity body as one in unification, in our different parts and sectors as one body, and which each of us through our journeys are actually going through that journey of embodying the healing, the shifting, and the growth for the entire collective, not only here on Earth, but everywhere, way beyond. So many other planets and star systems. There's a lot of different beings doing the same things, but and with our expanded awareness, we together can connect and directly share and communicate energies as well across time, space, and dimension, of which is irrelevant really in the quantum nature of reality. But it's not irrelevant because it has like specific points and nodal points of frequencies and coordinates at which energies meet and form and connect and crystallize within the greater universal body, in greater expanding complexity. But yet there's a simpleness on every layer and level that unifies it all, so it's not that wild as much as it can be a very fun, wild journey to explore. But you can simply look around in nature, look at the trees, look at the flowers, look at the bushes, look at the grasses, look at the insects and the animals, and see the different forms and the energies of which they flow perfectly geometrically. Seeing the practicality of the universal creation of your own body and your own multidimensionality, as well as the universal multidimensionality, as well as then your own body and universal multidimensionality. As well as within plants and different elements of nature, the earth, you can see the energies, the colors, the forms, the geometries of which they portray, and how that connects into with your own multidimensional field. and body of how that can support you as medicine or as nourishment or anything that might be needed to help you ascend and grow and actually trade codes and energies and teachings with their many different aspects of nature, just the same as any human or humanoid type being or any animal. When we connect physically, as with the consciously and energetic, we trade on a greater, deeper, more direct and activated, more accelerated level. Of what we each can share to help us each evolve and change and shift each other's forms. So like even just elements like in the earth, like I said, like different rocks and crystals and minerals, water, air, fire, all the stones, the trees. And help them evolve and help you bring your own energies into those places where it helps to begin shifting and clearing and healing, if that's your intention, or if that's just a part of the connection. You know, it comes down to like, there's layers and levels of which we naturally embody and share specific frequencies because we've crystallized and embodied them so well. And then there's other layers and levels where it's like an actual, like in the moment connection choice of intention of what we're bringing through in that moment, of what helps things to do whatever it is meant to be doing, or maybe it doesn't help. It just depends on the type of being you are. Maybe it doesn't help. But most of us are probably in the game of serving, divinely serving, expanding and growing and embodying and helping all creation embody and reattune with the original blueprints of organic, living, God, source, intended creation and harmony, and greater harmony and peace and wholeness and vitality and healthfulness. So all the darkness and light kind of unifying together as one, yet the light being the most prominent and present, shining forth in the direction for even the darkness kind of shadow energy that is organic and natural, clearing away all the distorted darkness and shadow or even like overly expressed or imbalanced light energies of beings and of consciousnesses of different forms of people, of beings, life. You know, I mean, as we heal and as we grow and expand, we unify more. And become that living light more as things clear, clarify, heal, and unify. Because the light simply is what unifies and yet shines truth and awareness into everything, and yet helps like direct all energies. But the shadow and darkness is just as important in balance. The same with that, and how it flows things into like action or into a unifying polarity balance. Because like that's like one of the biggest things about us in these human 3D lives is the mastery of self through the unification of all polarities within self as within all forms of life, then through the self, in bringing those energies to everything. In these 3D human physical worlds, the name of the game is self-mastery, love, unconditional self-love and compassion, peace, unification, wholeness and harmony, polarity union. And just a living, loving awareness connection through into all of that in its fullness and capacity and totality of all forms of being, all life. So that's why we as humans are bringing back those ancient ways of our humanity in the past to the now and onward into the greater future ways of an expanded, newer, shifted form of our previous and now into the future of reconnection, unification, harmony with nature and all life. In a conscious, full, every layer and level present, playful, joyful, living, creative, truly creative, honorable sense. But that doesn't negate that there is shadow and darkness within the light. But things shift in density and frequency, or density and vibration of energies within the physical, and yet the consciousness and dimensional aspects of self, grounding in the higher aspects of that, within that to balance and unify and lift all the physical frequencies into higher dimensions, or higher densities rather. that then unifies things in a clearer, more shining light sense of keeping things in a more of like universal law, divine order of balance, of clarity of relationship within that polarity union. Yeah, this is really expanding into a whole lot right now, and it's pretty darn awesome. I'm truly having fun. I hope you guys are too. Random little car video here, sitting here, but I was feeling the call. Time to get back into it. Thank you, God, universe, highest self, multiverse, guides and guardians of ascension, for myself and of everyone who joins in this space to learn, to expand, to trade, to share, to connect. Thank you guys so much. I love you. Simply, I love you. Anyway, it's a fun one. Be seeing you guys later. I think. I'll sit for a second. Do I feel what is true? What is true and authentic and real right now? Is it the end or is there more? Yeah, it feels good for now. Love you guys.